lust, yeah. I said I'm in love with my hood, just know my love ain't lust. Hater said he had my chick, just know my broads ain't touch. Don't be snitching on my clique and get my dog caged up. Look for smoke and get you all blazed up like a chimney. Aggressive with the ace when I hit your face with the mini-me. Have to switch the place when I use the K on the...
Welcome back, y'all. This is the K&A podcast. I am your host, Adrian. I'm here joined my co-host, Kenny. How you doing, man?
Doing great.
This is episode 267, I believe, right?
Something like that.
This is episode 17, right? This is episode 17, man. So I appreciate y'all for liking, subscribing, sharing the videos. You know, huge shout out to that TikTok that went crazy. Y'all did y'all thing with that one, bro.
That shit went crazy.
That shit reached 120,000 views, man. So I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you so much.
Conversations were funny as fuck, though.
That was funny. That was a good episode, man. If you didn't see it, check it out. You know.
Shout out Sean. You the GOAT.
Thanks.
I need him on like another 7 times now.
Alrighty. So what we got in store today, Kenny?
Today, it's a serious topic. Men's mental health. I know. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Because who cares, right? Nah, but today we're talking about men's mental health. You know, wait, don't we have a mental health month?
That's in June. Oh, it was in June.
Was it really?
Yeah, men's mental health month is in June.
Men's mental health month? Is it really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was just mental health as a umbrella.
What do you mean?
Like, I thought it was just like mental health month in general.
No, I think we have our own month.
Now we made it.
Yeah, June.
Nice. Who would have thought? I was about to be like, damn, we don't even gotta. It just falls under one umbrella. But simply put, this episode's mostly about bringing awareness to it. I don't feel like it's people talk about it, but it's not really touched upon, or it's not too explored. Essentially, like not a lot of people want to really discuss it, simply because men themselves don't really care, in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
How I really want to do this episode in forms of chapters, so each kind of section will kind of delve into a specific area of it, because it's a really broad topic, so you might as well like keep it a little structured. And primarily this is gonna focus on men's mental health, because you know I feel like I know that more than females' mental health, because you know
You're a man.
Yeah. But yo, I would love to do a part 2 with any women out there, females that feel like they're pretty in tune with their emotion and want to really discuss that topic. So we kind of discover the differences between us and things of that nature.
Mm.
Yes.
It's a beautiful way to put it.
Yeah. Thank you. I actually freestyled that off the dome.
Nice.
I didn't write that down or nothing.
Nice.
All right, but in this first chapter, badum.
Where the heart is.
I don't know if the editor is gonna like put like a cool thing where like it cuts and then it's like, oh, chapter 1 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But editor, if you do that, you're the GOAT. You're the GOAT for real. Anyways, the first thing I want to discuss is emotional availability. I feel like this is one thing that a lot of men struggle with, right? So, first question I want to ask you is, when's the last time you cried? Or even the reason, if you don't remember when. Now, see, the problem is, you see why it's taking you so long, bro.
No, I know. It happened yesterday. I almost, but I almost cried. What happened?
You forget.
I was just, because I didn't cry, but it was like, you know, I felt it in my eyes, but like I didn't cry.
No, but like, when did you cry? Like,
when did I cry?
Like tears streaming, like you're like, not like it don't gotta be like the ugly, like, but like it could be like one of those types of shits where it's like a tear fall.
I cried maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago or something like that. Yeah. I was watching you know those YouTube compilations where they put like a bunch of movie scenes together. So it was like old Disney films that I was watching and stuff like that. So, you know, I was shedding a little tear because I was like, damn, bro, like I remember when I watched this for the first time. But I almost cried yesterday because I was watching Coco, and like it was like the part where the dude was singing "Remember Me," and then, I almost did, but I didn't. It was just,
But like, what about that made you want to cry? Like about both of them?
I think it was just like the grandma like forgetting who the person was, and it's like she's about to pass and stuff like that. The other ones, I don't know why I tend to cry for like movie scenes that I've seen that are like really emotional. If I watch it back, then I'll cry again. But nothing that like I don't cry mostly to like life events. Like that doesn't really happen with me. Like I cry for some reasons for movie scenes, like a scene that hit really hard or something like that. That's when I'll cry. But for some reason, if it's like, oh damn, like I just lost $10,000, most people would cry. Like I would be a little butthurt, but I wouldn't cry.
Nah, I was tight when I lost my wallet.
But did you cry?
I didn't cry, but I was tight. But damn, bro, I feel like me and you like opposite. I mean, I don't cry for like real life events. I don't cry for none of that. The only time I ever cried for a scene was in One Piece, and that's when this character didn't want to live anymore.
So you cried?
I did, bro. But yo, shout out Robin, Water 7. If y'all know, y'all know. So pretty much the what happened was that she watched her entire island get killed. What happened?
No, nothing.
It cut out for a second, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Pretty much she watched her whole island die, right? And every time she joined up with somebody else, she just used them to get further in life until the point where she didn't want to live anymore. And then she met like the main crew, and at that point she realized like, damn, like maybe I have genuine friends that aren't gonna die like everybody else. And then that's when she accepted like, yo, I want to live. I was like, damn, that shit hit hard. I feel like if you was to watch it, you'd understand, but it's not. I can't explain it off like, just saying it. It's not. You don't get the same emotional experience from it. But that was the only time I've ever cried to like a show ever. But the last time I cried, damn, I don't know. See, that's a problem. Cause like, why wouldn't I know? I think it was. I don't know. I can tell you the reason why. It's probably when I lost control of something. Like if I feel like I don't have a control of something in my life, then I get really emotional about it, because it's like I like feeling like I could change whatever's going on in my life. For example, like let's say I was to get injured, right, and I can't go do something I like doing, I'd cry because I'm like, fuck, like I have no control over that. Like I can't physically make myself feel better to go do what I want to do. I'm trying to think of like an example of what happened. Damn, I don't know. But it's like a loss of control in my life. That's when I would feel like I would cry. And I feel like it happened months ago. I don't remember why. But yeah, that's a problem, bro. I don't feel like a lot of guys can really like pinpoint the last time they cried. And I feel like that's just a sign of like emotional availability in that type of sense.
Do you feel like men should cry more, or do you feel like, it's just like?
Personally, I don't feel like crying is like the end all be all. Like I feel like it's just a form of showing emotion. But there's people out there that don't want to cry because they don't want to show emotion. It's like if that's something you're withholding so that people don't see you weak, then that's a problem. Because you don't have to do it in front of people. You don't have to do it in front of me. As long as you can accept it, like even in private.
Right.
I be crying in private. I be crying to my pillow sometimes. You ever cry to your pillow?
That's on my pillow, but.
Damn, bro. You're not living the dream, bro.
You're not living the dream.
It's comfortable, bro. It's comfortable. But like, I don't know. It's men, to me at least, find it harder to open up to people. Do you agree with that?
I would say yeah. I feel like they're easier to open up to like their guy friends, but it's like even then sometimes they tend to keep it to themselves, because like I know people that won't even like tell if they're like their cousin or something like what's going on, because it's like they act like it's nothing, like they could just brush it off and shit like that. But sometimes you just need to vent it out, just talk it out. I feel like once you talk it out, then you feel better.
But so what do you have to say to people that can't do that?
Then that's just something you need to learn how to do. it's like it's gonna be uncomfortable, but I feel like it's like with anything, the more you practice it, the more you get comfortable doing it. So it's like if you're not comfortable speaking to people, the best way you could do is just find a way to, like, you don't tell them everything all at once, you know.
Yeah.
You start little by little, and then eventually you're like, oh, okay, like I'm comfortable enough with this person that he knows me well enough, or he or she knows me well enough that I can rely on them. But you also have to find a way to choose the people in your lives wisely, because sometimes you tell things to the wrong people.
Yeah, like you ever tell your friend something and then like it becomes a joke. Like it depends on what's being told to them.
Yeah.
Like people be like, yeah, bro, my dog died. Bro, how you let your dog die? And they start clowning you and shit. I feel like you just gotta find like the people, the right person to the right things.
Yeah.
Like you know what person is more available for this type of information,
Right,
and you know
right.
the people that are gonna help you cope with whatever it is you're going on.
Yeah, right.
Like if my goldfish was to die, I'll tell anybody, because it's
Yeah.
like, damn, I'm kind of sad, but like I'd rather you make me laugh about it than to be like, it's gonna be all right, rubbing my shoulder and shit, getting me like a candy or something. You
Right.
go like, feel better, blah 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 blah. I'm like, bro, like this ain't gonna help me. Like I'm feeling more sad than I already am.
Yeah, right.
Even though I wouldn't be sad about a fish, because I'm a man. See, that's the problem, bro.
I mean, it's just a fish at the end of the day.
It is just a fish.
It's different if it's like a loved one or like maybe a pet or something.
Yeah, but like you ever told someone like someone died around and it was like, oh nah, he died, and then they start laughing?
Nah, that's a little insane.
Yo,
I feel like if you do that, then you literally have problems.
I seen that in high school. I forgot who it was. I don't even remember who it was. But they were literally like, yeah, yada 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 died, and then someone was like, what? I'm smoking on pack. I'm like, oh my god,
that's too much.
That is crazy.
That is way too much.
And that's how desensitized we are nowadays.
Yeah.
Like that is crazy. Like that's the type of dark humor that we're making nowadays.
So let me ask you a question. Andrew Tate, right, talks a lot about, you know, being a man and, you know, you don't really, I don't know if this is exactly what he says, but it's like certain things you just got to suck up, you know, like as a man. But do you feel like there's certain things that it's like, you know, some things that men could just brush off and it's like you should be able to brush off, or do you feel like they should be just as emotionally available?
Brush off in terms of like what? Like I should just be like, all right, take it on the chin and keep it pushing?
Yeah, basically.
I think there's things that us as humans, us as people, not just men, just take on the chin and just keep it pushing. But I don't feel like that's the end all be all answer to everything. I feel like it's a case by case situation. Like if you trip and fall, like you scrape your knee, am I gonna sit there for 20 minutes in agony like on some Peter Griffin for 20 minutes? No.
Was that The Simpsons?
Peter Griffin?
Yeah.
Oh my god, clip it, chat. That was crazy. That's Family Guy, gang.
Oh, okay.
That was crazy.
Oh yeah, that's right. My bad.
That was crazy. But in terms of like, to me, a serious situation would be like death in the family, loss of like complete loss of like life, like careers, familial, but like those are types of things that hold people together because we're social people, we're social creatures. Eliminating those things and just losing them in like this, that's not something you can really like brush off like nothing and keep it moving. Granted, the world isn't gonna stop moving because this happened, you know, like you have to keep moving forward, but those aren't things you can brush off easily. I think it's a real case by case basis when it comes to stuff like that.
Because he was talking about when his father died, the best thing he did was just work really hard. And that like him and his brother didn't even go to the funeral or something like that. That they were just working to get their mind off of it.
You know what it is? That's just their coping mechanism. That's how a lot of people, not even just men, just a lot of people in general, just cope with things. They much rather distract themselves with things, and sometimes it's healthier than others in terms of like just drown yourself in work, drown yourself in ways that make money. But there's people that do it the opposite way. They drown themselves with alcohol, drugs, unhealthy things. People that drown themselves in the gym, which isn't necessarily bad, but it's like, are you really facing the problem, or are you distracting yourself from something? Like, would you put a Band-Aid on a scar, or would you want it to get treated properly? That's how I see it, at least.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the gym and all those things, like those are like healthy coping mechanisms. Like there's unhealthy coping mechanisms. Like I don't feel like drowning yourself in work is necessarily unhealthy.
It's
coping.
not unhealthy, but it's not healthy at the same time.
I feel like the gym is probably the most healthiest one.
Yeah, but what I mean is like they drowned themselves to the point where they couldn't even show up to his funeral. Is it because, granted, I don't know them personally, I don't know what happened, but is it because they couldn't accept it still? Is it because they couldn't face that and face the reality that, damn, like he's actually gone? You know what I'm saying? Like those are things that I would look at and be like, damn, like do they face regret now in life and not going to that funeral instead of drowning themselves in work?
Yeah, I mean, I know that they said like when they were 18, 20, they were richer than they are now, only because they've had like at that time their father was still alive, you know, other people that may have passed away in their life were still alive as well. So it's like they were technically, that's how he considers wealth. That he was technically richer back then because he had the ability to pick up his phone and call his dad whenever he wanted.
Well, what I'll give Andrew Tate is that emotionally availability for him definitely differs for everybody else. Like he finds it easier to cope with things that aren't, I don't want to say physically there, but aren't like, how do I explain this? Damn, I drew a blank. How do I say this? It's just he'd rather drown himself in things that are helping him as a distraction rather than facing things head on.
So do you feel like if somebody was to go through something that maybe looking at some of the things that he says is a good outlet for them to turn to?
I feel like for a lost person, then yes. I feel like it's good to try all types of coping mechanisms. Not one is going to be universal. Like there's people that don't like going to the gym. There's people that, you know, can't find themselves to stay at work because they're still distracted by whatever it is they're doing. Some people find solace in, you know, just browsing the internet. So it's just, I'd rather a person try all types of outlets, whether that be going to therapy and physically talking about it, or just finding ways that they can connect with their own emotions and understand what it is they got going on. You know, and that honestly leads into my next question is whether it's easier for you to open up to whether it's easier to open up to a man or a woman.
I feel like it depends on,
because I feel like on paper at least women are more of an emotional, like I was about to say creature.
species.
They're more emotional and they're more connected with their emotions. So on paper, it makes sense for them to be easier to open up to, while men are just like, yo, just suck it up, take it on the chin. So, but honestly, I think it's men. I don't know why.
I think it's it kind of depends on how you grew up too. You know, like how many girls are. If you grew up with mostly girls, or you grew up with mostly guys. You know, I grew up with mostly girls, so for a long time I was like very in tune with my feelings, I guess you would say. And then when I got to high school, I realized, oh, like, you know, this is how like people that grew up with like mostly boys act, and this is how dudes who grew up with mostly girls act. But if it was to ask me personally, like, who do you think is easier to open up to? I would say each person holds a specific role in like any way they can help you. If it's like going through like a death or something like that, I feel like it's easier to turn to a woman because they can help you more. And then I feel like if it's something that's like you're dealing with, like maybe financial struggles, maybe like getting a job, maybe doing stuff like that, like I would turn to like a man as opposed to like a woman.
To me, I just feel like relatability is a thing. So like if I can relate to what you're going on, like what's going on in your life, I could give you advice based on how I've dealt with a similar situation. Or that's like how I think about giving advice. Like if someone's going through like a breakup, for example, what helped you got through that? Okay, I did this and that, and you know, this is what I went through, and this is what I realized that I should have done, yada yada yada. So it's just the relatability. But when it comes to things that are emotionally required, like you're more connected to like how you are reacting to things emotionally, I feel like it's easier for me to tell a woman simply because they're not scared to just cry and tell you like, yo, this is how I'm feeling. As for like, if I was to tell you, like, if I was to come to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not that you wouldn't be like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, or give me advice on it. But if I was to come to you, be like, honestly, bro, I feel like I'm not doing anything in life, and like I'm not worth anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just feel like a woman would simply want me to channel my emotions, while you would rather tell me how it is I should fix that.
Mm-hmm. I feel like they would do more. They would reassure you more.
Yes.
And then a guy would be
Yes.
like, oh, like, this is what you need to do. You need to go out there and try, like, this, and this. Because you can't say that you're lost when you haven't tried everything.
Yes.
You know?
That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
I feel like the two types of advices that you need depend on who you ask.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I asked who is easier to open up to, because I feel like the path in which you take depends on who you ask. And it just always comes down to men wanting to be better and women wanting to understand why things are the way they are.
Mm. Right, yeah.
Do you feel like you're emotionally available?
Yeah, I believe so.
Why?
I feel like certain things, like, I just know how to deal with by myself. Maybe that's like a narcissistic way of looking at it. Maybe like like, oh, like I already know how to do it. Like I know I've been through this and whatever. But I feel like if I need help, then I'll ask for it. If that makes sense.
Mm. Do you feel like asking for help is a form of like not being available?
What do you mean?
Mentally, like if I don't ask you for help, do you feel like that's just me like restricting myself from like tapping in with what I got going on?
Yeah, because if you look at anything, bro, nobody does anything themselves. You know, the best way to get ahead of a situation or to get ahead of something is with a team. Like nobody does anything by themselves. And it's, you know, if you try to do it by yourself, it's like, it's just going to take you so much longer for you to realize like, what is it that's actually working for you? Like that, I figured that out when I started this with you. Like, I wouldn't be able to do this by myself. I need a partner and I need a team.
Yeah, you was gonna write a book.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yo, if y'all want Adrian to finish that book, y'all definitely should comment. Y'all should definitely comment finish the book, cause I was reading it and I'm like, damn, bro, this dude's really writing a little novel. It was a good book. I don't know why you didn't finish it.
No, I mean, I write down notes here and there, but it's like, you know, I don't think that's something you could just pick up and then be like, oh, like in 6 months I'll be done. You know, I feel like sometimes it takes people like years to write something like that.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So home is where the heart is, yeah. I said I'm in love with my hood, just know my love ain't lust.
Chapter 2. Stress and acceptance. So what I want to ask you first is, do you feel like society makes it normal for men to be less emotionally available than women?
Yeah, because there's this stigma around men that you're like supposed to be macho and always, like, I believe that you should always be ready to be the leader in your family, like be the head of the household, and, you know, call out certain things that, like, you know, you feel like it's like, it's not a big deal. Like anytime they're stressing over something, you could be like it's gonna be fine. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like women are more like reactive to like emotions. They're quick to be like, oh my god, like this is happening, and the man's like, all right, like relax, we're okay. But I feel like that's just, you know, kind of your job to just be there and be like the calming factor, be the person that kind of, you know, steps in and takes care of it when it needs to be taken care of.
Do you feel like that? Do you feel like this is like an old tradition that we still hold on to this day?
I feel like it's an old tradition, but I feel like it's a right tradition. I feel like it's necessary.
Why?
Like, I don't think that it's something that should be, you know, taken away.
What do you mean taken away?
Like, I don't think that, like, you should like, some people bash it, you know, like they say, oh, that's like toxic masculinity or something like that. But it's not. It's just, you know.
But I feel like that word just gets thrown on like anything.
Yeah.
Like, God forbid a man wants to hold the door for you just to be polite.
Yeah. Wait, what?
What?
What you said?
I'm saying, like, God forbid, like, someone wants to hold the door for you.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yo, to this day, bro, I don't know what episode I said it, but girls don't hold the door for nobody. Not that I care, just an observation. I don't mind holding doors open.
I mean, since it happened like twice. Since the last time you said it.
Since the last time it happened, and I'll literally go back and check what episode I said it, and then see how long it's been. Because I don't know how many doors I held open. But whatever, I don't care. I don't want to be treated like a princess. Maybe on the weekends, but that's beside the point. But what I want to get into now is like our roles in society, emotionally wise and stuff like that. What do you think are men expected to do for society, family, relationships, friendships, things in those types of, in that realm?
I'll start with society. I feel like a lot of men, you know, some of us don't really like school. So like some of us gravitate towards like the trades and all that stuff. I feel like
blue collar jobs and stuff.
Yeah, blue collar jobs, exactly. Those men build the world, you know. Like, you wouldn't have half of the things out there if it wasn't for like a man that risks his life to go up 60,000 feet in the air or something and build these enormous towers and stuff like that.
I agree.
We're needed, you know, especially like the role of a father. A father is an important role.
There's a pillar of the family.
Exactly. So there's, you know, a lot of kids that are growing up without their fathers, and some of their mothers do an amazing job for being a single mom, but that role of a man is necessary. Like, they need them to show them, you know, like how to control your emotions, how to like what are some things that a man should do, you know.
Does this relate only to like a father talking to a son, or does this also relate to a father talking to a daughter?
I feel like it relates to a father talking to a daughter. I don't know if I can speak on it because, you know, I'm not a girl, so I don't know. But they definitely are needed, you know, like and especially in America, I believe we have like the highest percentage of like homes without a father. Yeah, fatherless child. And you kind of like, you can see it because, you know, like especially with younger boys that don't grow up with their dads.
It's like their sense of direction is lost. Like they don't really know who to turn to. Yeah,
and I feel like they end up making more mistakes, and then through those mistakes they learn, and then they become like, you know, who they're meant to be. But it just takes them longer. You know, like sometimes they figure it out like a little too late. Yeah, and it's like
even examples where like it's you know, single mother, older brother, younger brother. I feel like those dynamics are even work as well, because it takes the older brother to really learn how to be that man to show his younger brother. So it's like at least that he has someone up to look up to. He has a father, not really a father figure, but a man to show him the mistakes that he made growing up. I feel like that's the role of a man, to really show where mistakes can go and how to like come back for it.
There's like somebody I could say that's doing like a good job at that is Josh. You know, like he didn't really have a big father presence in his life. Shout out Josh. But he, you know, on the last part he talked about how he wants to teach his younger sister like credit. You know, opening your first credit card, things that weren't taught to him, and he had to figure out for himself. And now he's doing it for her because it's like, you need that. You know, so he's acting like that parental presence for his younger sibling. Shout out Josh, man.
Shout out Josh, bro. We're ready for you to come back.
Yes, sir.
Top 3 coolest dudes I know. Yeah, I know the other 2.
Yeah, I know the other 2.
How about in relationships?
Relationships.
By the way, these are what our men are expected to do. So yeah.
I feel like let's say like if you're going out for a restaurant, you know, you're expected to pick up the check, you know, pay, hold the door open for your woman. If you
pull the chair out.
Yeah, if you get, I don't do the chair thing too much. Like I feel like that's like that's a lot. I don't know. I feel like she's usually in front of me because I like to be behind her, and like just to be like aware of the environment. So anytime that we usually get to the table, she already, you know, pulls out her own chair.
Do you sit, like, when you go to a restaurant, do you sit facing the exit?
No. I like to sit like either my back to the wall or like somewhere where I can see like everybody. I don't like if let's say I'm sitting here, right, and she's facing the wall, but there's like everything else is happening behind me. I don't like that. I feel like I like kind of
I like to face the entrances.
Yeah.
So like my back is like, I don't really like, it don't really matter, but as long as I can see the exit and the entrance, I feel
better. Yeah,
it's just more comfortable.
Yeah,
and I can enjoy my food a little more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't like to be sit down and like on the exit or something like that. Somebody could just come behind me and do something
and have their way with you.
Exactly. What would you say that men are like expected to do in relationships?
I feel like in relationships it's more of a protector and leader role. And then for a woman it's more of a, how do I say this? It's more of a reassurance, like they're supposed to be reassuring, push you to be better, and they're just supposed to be there with you as like wherever you are, in my opinion. But that leadership role and that protector role is what I think we should be doing in relationships.
Iron sharpens iron. Yeah,
exactly. So in friendships, at least, I feel like their job is to just be logical. I feel like that's our role. You know, we have our fun, stuff like that, but our job is to be logical. Well, male friends, at least, what I'm referring to as friendships. As a male friend, I feel like I should be the most logical person in your life. I should be able to tell you right from wrong without you feeling like I'm trying to bash you. Or I should be telling you what you should be hearing, not what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Whereas if I expected from a female friend, I'd feel like I'd want reassurance, comfort. I feel like just how we were talking about before. Right. Whereas, you know, it really depends on what type of advice I need. That's depending on who I'm going to go to for whatever problem it is I got going on.
Right. Because I feel like my circle right now of like male friends is like, you know, we hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
You know, like you do what you're supposed to do, and if you start to slip out a little bit, you know, we're going to call you out on it so you can get back on track. Like Juan likes to do that a lot, man. Shout out Juan, bro. He be pushing everybody to get back in the gym, you know, stay focused and all that stuff. So that's what you need in your circle. You know, like people that can call you out and be like, yo, I'm not going to lie, bro, you getting kind of lazy, bro. Like, you need to tee up or something.
Yeah,
you know?
Bro, you used to run every day, bro.
I mean, I run like twice a week because when I used to run every day, I was losing freaking a lot of weight a week.
You used to run, bro. I was gonna start running if you kept running.
So run with me.
No,
exactly.
Oh man, that running shit is no joke. But my next follow-up question.
Wait, hold up before you go to that one. What about society? Because I didn't hear your point on society.
Society, I agree with you. The same point you were gonna make. Where like, you know, all of us have our own jobs, and these types of jobs is what builds society and stuff like that. And I feel like there are just certain jobs that only our men are willing to risk their lives over. Granted, there are women that would for sure climb a 40,000 foot whatever tower and, you know, help build.
Right.
But, you know,
it's more rare.
Statistically, there's more men doing these types of jobs and stuff like that. We wouldn't have the things that we have without men. Same thing that we wouldn't have some things without women. So I just feel like they're a key pillar in building a lot of the things that society has to offer. But what I want to ask you next is, do you feel like these expectations and these roles essentially are normal? Or are they realistic?
Like in terms of what we do and what they do?
Yeah. Like, are they realistic enough?
Yeah. I feel like everybody has their niche and everybody has their gift.
Niche.
Oh, that's it? That's how you say it? Niche? I thought it was niche.
No, it's niche.
Oh, niche. Okay. Well, I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Iron sharpens iron. What was the question?
The standards, are they realistic? The expectations that we have from men.
Yeah. Everybody has their gift. Everybody has like what makes them special. Everybody has a reason to be here. But yeah, I feel like where we are as a society, and we're starting to deviate a little bit away from that. But
in terms like what?
like certain people wanting to do other jobs or stuff like that. I'm not sure. Like I don't know. I'm not sure.
Because to me, I feel like in certain aspects, I feel like they are pretty realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Like society, I feel like that's pretty realistic
Mm.
in regards to like people. These are the types of people that want to do these jobs. These are the types of people that want to progress. Family, I just feel like just the presence of a father, just the presence of a man in a household. Not even just even a stepdad could even fill that role. Even even an uncle could fill in that role.
Right.
Just the man's presence in a family is just very strong. It keeps everyone centered. He's just a key. It's having a man in a family, like even just a home, is just a key pillar of what makes a family whole.
Mm-hmm.
Relationships. I mean, the thing with relationships is that it's kind of tricky. It's kind of tricky, simply because it's like, are you considered a boy? Like, are you considered a good husband or a boyfriend or whatever if you're not providing as much as someone else, for example?
That's a good question. If you were to ask me personally, I would say,
does your value of a man, is it
based on what you bring?
Measured, yeah, based on what you bring.
I feel like in some aspects, yeah. I feel like if when you decide to share your life with somebody, you have to take on the responsibility of providing for like you and your significant other. Mm-hmm. Not everything, not like, I pay for like every single thing that's literally here, but it's like you bring a good chunk, like some women like to stay in the house and take care of the kids and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And the man's like, okay, like you can do that, and I'll go out and work, and I'll bring us what we need, But
what I'm saying is, like, is your worth of a man measured by, if you was to have all right, let's say there's a girl in front of us, we're both taken. Let's say there's a girl in front of us, right? And she's like, I feel like Aiden is more of a man than Kenny because he drives a freaking Urus and he drives a Civic. Do you feel like that is a realistic standard to that we should be holding men because of their monetary, like, gain in a sense?
No, but at the end of the day, it's always gonna happen. So it's like there's nothing really you can do about it. Like, you can think how you want to think, but it's like certain people are gonna be like, oh, like, you're not a man if you're not freaking a millionaire by 25, or
you're not a man if you're not making over 200K. Like, you're just a kid.
There's a lot of people that, like, 2% of men have very good jobs. Most men pick up trash on the sidewalk. So it's like it's a bit of an unrealistic expectation to look at somebody and be like, oh, by 25, you're a man. You're supposed to have it figured out by then. Like, we're just like everybody else. We're just trying to figure our way in life and how to gravitate towards like everything that we're doing in our daily lives. And
I feel like a lot of the times, like, as a society, we've created these types of gender roles where we have, the woman having to do this, and, in return, the man has to do this. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like gender roles over time for men are changing?
I feel like if you want it to change, it will change. I feel like if you have your own expectations for yourself, then you'll remain grounded in what you want. Mm-hmm. But I feel like everybody's different, If you find, somebody that shares the same ideals as you, then, if that's what works for you, then that's fine. Mm-hmm. But certain men, like, they like to be the provider. They like to be the person that, brings the money to the home and stuff like that.
To me, I feel like right now, at least, that the role of a man is not changing, but it's becoming less demanding. Mm. Simply because I see a lot more women wanting to become independent. Mm-hmm. Not independent as in they don't want to be with a man, like they could do everything themselves, but independent as they don't want the burden of their man having to do everything. Whether that be like, damn, like even just working. Like some women want to be working. Like I know my mom does not want to be in the house. Like, she wants a job.
Yeah, my mom doesn't like that either.
Like my mom has been not bedridden, but she hasn't been able to work after her car accident, so she has been staying home the whole time. And even after a year after she was clear, she's like, I need a job. Like I cannot be at the house all the time.
Yeah, my mom's the same way.
Even my girlfriend, she was like, yo, like I do not like, even if you're making a good amount of money, I don't want to be home all day. Like I want to be doing something.
Yeah.
So it's just, I feel like but our role as a man is becoming less demanding. I feel like it's becoming a lot easier in a sense. I don't know if that's like offensive or something.
Do you think that's better though? That it's like getting a little easier?
I don't see the issue with it. As long as I'm able to provide what I need to provide as a man within whatever circumstance I'm in, whether that's just like my presence, being a protector, provider, anything like that. Whether it's easy or not, it's still something I have to do. You know what I'm saying? Like some people's jobs are easier. Like we make coffee. Is that, you know what I'm saying? Like we make coffee compared to someone that is a physical trainer, for example, who's a lot more tired than we are. Does that take away that we're both doing our job?
No. I wanted to circle back to when you said it's getting a little easier. There's a saying that says easy times create weak men. Weak men create bad times. Bad times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men. Boom, boom. And it just, that cycle goes on.
I mean, in terms of like struggling, yeah. Like if I was struggling to come to terms with what it is I have to achieve, then yeah, of course, you know, I'm gonna be a lot stronger. I have to, you know, do a little bit more to get to where I need to be. But if my job is, for example, let's take providing, and that's a lot of the times having to deal with money. There's a lot of people that find it extremely easy to make 200, 300K a year. There's some people that find it hard to make even 50K a year. Does that mean that they're not providing at the same levels? Because there's different people that need different needs. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I bring that point up.
Yeah. I only brought it up because you were like that it makes you know, people are doing things to make the role of a man a little bit easier. You still need, like, a man still needs to go through those hard times.
No, of course.
To build themselves up and be.
I feel like that's anybody.
Yeah. Everybody needs to go through, like, pivotal moments that are, like, damn near almost break you so that you can come out on the other end stronger. Just like how Josh said that. It was like he feels like nothing can break him because he's been through, like, the worst of it. So it's like he's going to come back. Anything that he sees, he would want to take it out on. He would rather it go to himself because he feels like he can handle anything.
Yeah. And that's just part of being, like, that protector, that one person you can always look up to. I feel like the father in a family or just a husband is someone that you could always turn to and be like, he's got my back. He's got me. He knows how to solve the situation. He knows how to change my tire. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. So it's just experience in life is just what's going to create that. You're not going to just know how to solve everyone's problem through reading a book, for example. And what that goes into my next question, which was going to be, do you believe gender roles are real? But I feel like, you know, kind of answered that. I feel like we all got our different our jobs in life and stuff like that, and this is just something we're born with. We don't really get to choose. But do you feel like we need them, and do you feel like in some aspects they're flawed?
They are flawed, but we do need them. You know, there are certain things that men are better at than women, and some things that women are better at than men. Yeah, it's just, you know, I feel like you shouldn't be like, oh, like, that's not right. Like, I could do exactly what he does. You can. Nobody's saying you can't. Yeah. I'm just saying that, you know, over the period of time, this is what we've done, and this is what you guys have done. But we all have our own roles, and that's exactly what makes each of us special. And I don't think that's a bad thing to look at and be like, oh, no, like, that's not right. they are flawed. I do agree with that, and I do believe that some things should change. Off the top of my mind, I can't think of like a lot to spark a whole conversation about it, but there are some things that needs to change, and old idealistic views that are like outdated that need to go.
Like, yeah, because like think about it like this. I think of it as in not that the roads themselves are flawed. I feel like the idea behind how people view them are. I think it's people look at it too linearly. Like they're like, okay, for example, people feel like a man should go out, work, whatever, and the woman should be home cooking and cleaning. Right? Is it too linear to think that those are the only people that should be doing these types of things? Like, if I was to come home and, I'm chilling, I'm like, yo, I'll be cooking, clean, blah, blah, blah. If I knew how to cook, I would.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I knew. I would like to learn. My mom yells at me every day to learn.
Yeah.
In case I die alone. Shout out mama, German mom. But yeah, it's like, I just feel like we look at it too linearly. Like women feel like, oh, I don't need a man because I could get myself money. I'm like, you don't need a man for money. Like if you have it, you don't need that man to provide you that. You probably need him to provide you something else. Maybe not need, but want or whatever. I don't know. Y'all lives y'all own lives. But I'm saying not everything's too linear. I feel like everyone looks at it as it like, a yes or no answer, like a black, like it's black and white. I feel like if we was to look at it in more of a, how do I say it? A circular fashion. Is that the right way to say it?
That's a good. I can see what you mean.
Or like it's a web.
Yeah.
Like a spider web. Like there's different situations call for different things and different emotions, and there's too many factors to say that you should be doing this while I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no there's no universal answer for every relationship. There's no universal answer for every society or whatever. Because who's to say that we are doing the same thing that they're doing in Japan or, Germany? Definitely Germany. We're definitely doing it different and better. But there's different places in the world that, tackle these roles differently than how we do.
Right.
And to different degrees.
Home is where the heart is.
Okay. And we've reached the climax. Chapter Tracy. This is where I want to focus on just goals and ambitions. What is expected for what do most men strive for? What is it that we want to reach? What is it that we are working all towards? What do you think drives a man, firstly?
Well, I'm gonna say what drives me, purpose. Finding what it is what you bring to this world, in a sense. What it is that you're doing to put good energy out there and motivate people to do the right things. I feel like that's what drives me. Also being like probably the first person in my family to be like, oh, okay, like I figured out the blueprint. Like I'm gonna put y'all on too. Like we gonna do this together. We gonna run it up together. But yeah, I feel like that's what drives me the most. Like figuring out what my purpose is and how I can use that purpose to affect other people.
I'd agree. I feel like mine is pretty similar in regards to like, at least for like a generalization for a man, is just being able to provide and protect. And for me, and then there's it dwindles down, whether that being I want to be able to be a millionaire, for example, or I want to own this car, and then in return I'll have this amount of money because I'll be able to provide for this. Like there's a lot of things that in a way affect other things. Like being able to protect, and like I want to take jiu-jitsu class and I want to do this because I want to be able to protect myself, protect people around me. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of goals that we have that inadvertently, or if it goes with the roles that we already had talked about, inadvertently tries to hit those markers. You know what I mean? That's how I see things that drive men. Those are the types of things we like.
Right. What's one of your biggest goals?
My wants, it's an M5 compliment, hyperbole, white bucket seats. inadvertently, that means I'd have to make a lot of money. And one of my goals is to be able to live comfortably and affordably in wherever I am in the world, preferably outside of New York. Preferably outside of New York. Yeah, New Yorkers be making this shit so taxable over here, bro. Like, this is not sick. And if you want to get out of New York, and matter of fact, if you want to stay in New York and live a little comfortably, you might as well go to Long Island. But in Long Island, you're paying that property tax. That's a problem.
That's expensive.
It is, but it's beautiful over there. Some parts.
Yeah, some parts. Yeah.
Some parts are beautiful. But my real goal is to just be able to have people turn to me when they need help. I want to be that protector for people. I want people to be comfortable enough to be like, listen, not even financial help, not even like, you know, not even just emotional, but like everything, like whatever you need. Like, I know this person I know you could come to me because I know this person that can help you. I know you could turn to me because, you know, I know what's happened and I have that same experience in life and I've been able to, you know, solve those types of problems. That's the type of man I want to be. I want to be a one-stop shop where, maybe not a one-stop shop because, you know, I don't know the answers to everything. Like, you know, I can't fix your light bulb.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, yo, I got a guy called Adrian. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, at least I'll know how to begin to solve your problems.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where a lot of people like they don't know where to start.
Yeah, that's like Kelvin. If you need somebody, he'll be like, "Oh, I know somebody. I got you, bro. Like, let me give him a call."
Saying Kelvin, top 3 coolest people I know. That means there's only one spot left, and I already talked about him. I know who it is.
Yeah, I feel like I said the same. Like, outside of this podcast, one of the genuine joys that I have in my life is being able to give somebody else answers to something that like they're really struggling with. Like, I love helping out Sean in any way that we can. Like, I love it. Like, anytime that he's like, yo, like, what time do y'all post? Like, y'all TikToks, like, what kind of hashtags you use? And I'll openly tell him, I'm like, yo, you should use this, you should do that. Because that's what I've learned from the beginning, you know, starting out from 0 views and going to the 120 that we hit recently.
1,000.
Facts. But that's one of my genuine joys. I love being able to like steer someone in the right direction or be able to like provide them with an answer that they've been searching for a really long time and they just don't know how to start.
Yeah. And the thing that I like doing the most is like just taking aspects from people that are at the level that I see them at. Right. You know? Like, I'll take Sean for example, simply because, you know, he's a father that I look at. I'm like, damn, like he's doing a great job. Like, he's doing a great job. You could just see the way he interacts with his family, the way he talks about them. Right. It's just like it's great. Right. Like, that's a great, like, I feel like that's something that every man would want in their family. Right. Like, just a playful, understanding, loving family.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and with Sean, yo. I'm not gonna lie, we'll do a whole podcast talking about Sean. Sean's a great guy. Sean's a great guy, very genuine guy. When he came in that day, I actually told him like, "Yo, bro, you're fucking famous." Yeah. He was like, "What are you talking about?" I showed him, yo, he was stunned at the amount of views that he got.
Yeah. And he was literally just happy over he was more happy over the hate comments than anything else. He was like, "Yo, bro, you see the comments, bro? They're hilarious, bro. They're making me die of laughter, bro." And I'm just like, yeah, mom, they are literally hilarious.
Those hate comments were fucking.
Those were hilarious.
Funny as fuck.
Funny as hell.
Because it was like, you know, I don't believe like people that comment like hate comments are real people. Like, I don't believe them to be real people. There's no way. There's no way you're that mad that you took the time out of your day to write a hate comment. Like, I don't get it.
No, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, what you got going on in your life that you got the time to go in the comments like, "I hate you, Kenny Martinez." Oh. Like,
that's how you imagine them?
Yeah, that's how I imagine them. Dude. But
because like, all right, before we deviate too much, there was one comment that said, "I'll never get these 45 seconds back." And I'm just like, you took more time commenting than actually watching the video.
You wasted another 15 seconds leaving that comment right there.
That's what I'm saying. So it was like like, why? You know,
it was funny though.
It was hilarious, yo. I couldn't help but not laugh. And then there was that other comment on the short. Nah, he killed me.
Yeah, nah, that one was funny too.
fuck you. That guy, fuck that guy.
That was funny.
But we deviate too much. I want to ask where you draw inspiration from, like as for like goal-oriented types of things. It could be fictional. I mean, me personally, I have most of my things are fictional. I come from manga because that's where that's most of the media I consume. But is there anything that you can think of at the moment where you draw goals or inspiration for goals through either fictional, real people, family bonds? Why are you shaking your head like
I feel like not because I'm just thinking about what I'm about to say.
So go ahead.
Yeah,
and it could be more than one.
Yeah, I feel like I draw inspiration from a lot of things. I feel like the main thing that I draw inspiration from is family. You know, I love seeing, like, especially a lot of people in my family, they're doing a lot of things that are like outside of the norm, you know. So I love to see them trying a different avenue than what like our parents did and finding a way to be successful in it. Like, I really love that. I draw inspiration from my dad, my mom, my sister, my cousins, my uncle, man. Like, and I know that if anything ever happens, like, I could just pick up the phone and they'll always be there. I draw inspiration from old movies that I watch, like old Disney movies, like The Lion King, for example. Like sayings that they'll say, like Hakuna Matata. There are no worries for the rest of your days, stuff like that. Like, you watch those movies back when you're a kid, you watch them and you're like, whoa, like, this is such a good movie. But then you look back and you see all the little life lessons that they leave behind. Same thing with like Pixar. I think Pixar is owned by Disney, right? Yeah, they're owned by Disney. What's one movie? Kung Fu Panda, where it's like the Master Oogway is at the tree and he's like, stop worrying about the past. You know, there's a reason why it's called the present, because it's a gift.
That's a bar.
That's what I'm saying. So you watch these things back and you look at them and you start to soak up all the little life lessons that they drop in those movies. Like for example, my favorite movie to ever watch is like Cars, and it's just like the resilience of it, the ambition that you have for your dreams, not losing yourself, staying humble, staying grounded. Remembering who you are, and always remember that it's not who crosses the finish line first, it's just a matter of when you cross it. I also draw inspiration from people that I see that are just literally killing it, like David Goggins, that inspires so many people around the world by just being authentically themselves. I love to see that. I love to see like my little cousins, like my uncle's little cousins, his sons, they're doing like what they want to do. And because my uncle and his wife have been able to like provide such a good life for themselves and their kids, they can put their kids in so many things that it's like you can find what your gift is and what you're passionate about. So they have all these like options open to them. Yeah, I feel like that those are the three that I draw a lot of inspiration from as myself, as a man, and just seeing all the things that are going on around me. See the other men that are doing the same thing.
I feel like if I had I love the fact that you have a huge family, because like you have so many people doing different things and shit. Similarly enough, I do draw inspiration from my dad, because ever since he came here from Germany, he's working nonstop, working, and I think he's had 38 years working, just no like breaks. Until recently, of course, because, you know, he's getting a little older.
Right.
But he's one person that I always draw inspiration from, because anything that I ever needed, like, if I was to ask him, I know he could give it to me. Like, no matter what. Like, if I'm ever in trouble, like, he's got it. Like, he's always has, like, a plan B for some reason.
Right.
Like, on some Batman shit. I'm like, yo, like, who is this guy?
Right. Because they've been through it, so they know how to handle it.
Yeah, of course. Another person I draw inspiration from, weirdly enough, is my niece. Because she's like, all she knows how to do is freaking be mad sassy and ask for food and shit. But strangely enough, I really do see myself like being like, you know, I really want to be able to make sure that if anything, God forbid, was happened to your parents, that I'm gonna be the first person you could turn to and be like, yo, Uncle Kenny got me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yo, you know, the other day she saw the picture I posted on IG and she was like, Theo car, vroom vroom. I'm like, oh nah. Yeah, I was like, damn, I be calm.
You gonna be like, cool uncle.
Type shit, things of that nature.
That's dope.
I'm telling you, my sister's gonna leave her around and be like, yo, here's a 20, bro. Hold that.
Right.
Shit. But when it comes to like fictional characters, I feel like this is where I draw a lot of my inspiration from. For those that don't know, I feel like I talk about it every episode. Any chance I get, One Piece, fucking love it. I will not die until that shit is done. But I draw my main inspiration from the main character, Luffy. If you don't know, I got him tatted on me because I love this nigga so much. This nigga's the GOAT. And the reason why is just because of what he represents. So his goal as a character is he wants to be the Pirate King, which is to find the One Piece that nobody knows what it is, and it's been lost for God knows how long. But, you know, there's other people obviously trying to get the same goal for whatever it is that they want to reach, whether that's to rule the world, you know, get money out of it. But for him, reaching that goal of being Pirate King doesn't mean like wealth, fame, and notoriety. For him, it means freedom. So it means he can go wherever he wants, whenever he wants, eat whatever food he wants, and have people around him be as happy as possible. That's what it means to be free. And I feel like as a man, for me, like that hits home. Because who wouldn't want to do what they want, when they want, how they want, and have everyone around them happy doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd want to be free enough to drive an M5 Calm down the fucking Grand Central right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
That's one trait that I really want to pick up on, is just being able to reach freedom and stuff like that. I feel like that's my number one goal. Like, I want to be free. I don't want to be stuck working my whole life. I don't want to be stuck in such a linear fashion where it's just I get up, go to work, come home, sleep, repeat the next day. And then whatever little thing I got going on the weekend is just that small bit of freedom, and then it's taken away from me to go right back into that cycle.
Right.
So freedom, that's one trait I like to pick up from him. Recently, I've been reading a manga called Vagabond. Do you know about that?
That's a book you gave me. No?
Yes,
yeah.
That's the first volume. Basically, that follows a Ronin samurai who was just trying to prove that he's the strongest, essentially. And there's one part that really resonated with me, and is his understanding of invincibility. He wants to be invincible under the sun. The first time he's ever encountered what he understood to be invincible was his father. However, his father was so scared of losing the title of invincibility that he even saw his own 8-year-old son as a threat. So at multiple occasions, he's threatened to kill his own son just to uphold his title of invincibility. Damn. His understanding of invincibility changed over time when he met two older guys who themselves never considered themselves invincible, but they showed it in regards to they didn't have to kill 100,000 people and kill everyone in the land to prove that they were the strongest. They were able to prove they were invincible just based on their demeanor and their understanding of the way of the sword. And I feel like that resonated with me simply because there's two different meanings to the same thing. Like, is it really invincible if I kill everybody and I'm the only one left standing? Am I really invincible? Am I the strongest because of that? Or am I the strongest because I understand what true strength is? And then, yeah, that shit hit hard. I don't know if that hit hard for you, but it did for me.
Right. I mean, I could see why a lot of people gravitate towards it. You know, like it's similar in the way where I said that old, like, Disney movies and Pixar movies hold those little life lessons and teach you something along the way. I feel like that's as similar with the genre that you gravitate towards most.
Yeah, and I feel like it mostly hits the same themes. It's just in the aspects of which they try to deliver it are just kind of different. Or it's like, you know, killing people and, you know, having powers through fruits and shit like that is the way I like to gravitate towards. But honestly, I feel like a lot of the things that men gravitate towards through fictional, non-fictional, are just things that, you know, like movie shows, like, you know, guys either go into in like a couple realms. Either they're into cars, sports, or just working. Realistically, I feel like I could throw all my friends in one of those categories.
Right.
And I feel like just having goals as a man, having a push as a man, having something to work towards, is just something that keeps everyone grounded.
Right. Yeah. Was there anything else in that one?
No, that's it. This is where I feel pretty good about that one.
I'm not gonna lie, I think that was probably the best podcast we did, just me and you.
And guess what? I wrote this one.
That was dope. That was really good. But yeah, man, give the men in your life some flowers, man. Give them their flowers.
You know, my girlfriend actually got me flowers the other day. Literally, like, I was like, yo, men don't receive, you seen that shit where it's like men don't receive their first flowers until they die?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That
I mean, not granted, I don't really want flowers.
Yeah, I don't want flowers either, but that is crazy.
But I appreciate it. I love it.
Yeah.
My mom got mad at me. She's like, why are you getting flowers? You're amazing. I was like, damn, shit. It's the problem with society. You know, my dad was like, yo, why she giving you flowers? Like, you a man. Why she giving you flowers? Tell her to give you a couple $100. I'm like, damn. That's really funny. I kept the flowers. I love the flowers. They look really cool.
Right. Yeah, man. Give the men in your life some flowers, man. Get all the men that came on our podcast, even though women, all of them. Y'all deserve y'all flowers, man. Keep it up. Keep doing what y'all doing, man. Keep striving for more. This has been the K&A podcast.
And please, I really want to do a part 2 of this.
Yes, sir.
Do a female perspective.
Right.
You know, if y'all ever feel like you want to talk about it through a female's lens, you know, hit us up. Adrian's a little bougie, so I think might not respond right away.
Nah, I think I got some people.
Yeah.
What about you? You think you got something?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, I got 2. So maybe we can do the first ever 4-person podcast on this, yo.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, this has been the K&A podcast.
Yes, sir. Oh, like, comment, subscribe, keep sharing, hit the bell.
Hit the bell icon.
Hit the bell.
Get notifications when we post.
Yes, sir. All right, Kenny.
I'm a fault with you. That was really good. I had a good time. I had a blast.
Yes, sir.
What should we do now?
Close it out.
See you later.